Hi everyone, and welcome back to the special mini summer mini series for Just With That. Really excited for today's episode because I have a special guest who all of her like achievements and stuff are just really phenomenal. And so keeping in touch with the theme for this mini series about how it's better to start young. Yeah, just having like these young people come on and talk about their different achievements that they've reached at such a young age. So today is another addition to that group of people that I've been talking to. So, what the episode is about. So, I have here Risha with me, who is a published teen author, and also to say how we came in contact, though. So, actually, she emailed me like back in January or something, but I just like I'm really bad at responding, kind of. So, well, not really bad, but like I did respond, but then I kind of forgot about it. And then when I remembered that I from someone else that I was doing this mini series, anyways, I was like, okay, let me contact her again because like it fits in perfect with what she was talking about and all her achievements and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of where it came from. And see, that just goes to show that like if you want to be a guest on this podcast, you can always just contact me and we'll make something work. So yeah, you can go ahead and introduce yourself though.
Um, all right. So, hi everyone. I'm Risha Chaurasia, and I'm a 15-year-old best-selling teen author from India. And I've published three books so far. They're called Tales of Twinkling Tweens, To My Homies, and True Snow Initials. And I've been writing since I was 8, and I published my first novel when I was 11, which is called Tales of Twinkling Tweens. And I'm also a blogger. So I run a page on Instagram that's all straight from my pen. That's a positivity thumb literary blog where it talks about my writing journey, about writing tips, and about how all with all that's been going good in the world. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. I also advocate for the love of reading and for literature among the youth through various author visits, events, and in places that I go to speak as panelist. So that's pretty much about me.
Thank you. And so now we'll get into the prompts. So have you always known that you wanted to write and from what age? I know you said you started at 8, but have you always known that that's what you wanted to pursue?
So I've always been much of an avid reader, and I'd like to say that I spent my entire childhood with a nose in a novel, and I've always loved to read, and I've been reading since I can remember. And it was this love for reading and for books, and like books and literature just fascinated me about how it was devoid of any caste or nationality or race, about how we could read about what authors have written beyond us centuries ago, and how I mean, even when the author's not there, we're still reading what he's written and we're still reading the work. So that's something that really fascinated me, and books just always transported me into another world, into my own little paracosm. And this love for reading and for books initially got me writing. And whenever I used to read, I used to think to myself as, why can't I write? And whenever I saw like authors' names on the novels, I used to think to myself, one day I want I want to be this author and I want to see my name on a public piece of art, and to have accomplished that is it's just really gratifying. And yeah, that's how I began writing.
Okay. And so can you give some insight on what each of your novels is about and what inspired those novels?
So my first novel, which I wrote at 11, is called Tales of Twinkling Tweens, and it's available on all e-commerce sites. And it's basically a tween's handbook through those years. So a tween is basically someone from the ages of 9 to 12. So if you're somebody in that age group, please do check it out. So it's about the things that tweens go through, about how to overcome them, about toxic friendships, bullies, school life. So it's just about a tween's life. And I've included poems and activities and jokes and these little things here and there to make it more exciting. And it's just about my own experiences as a tweens, and to just help tweens navigate these years and to make the best of them. And my second novel is called True Snow Initials, and it's also a best-selling one. So it's a story of five friends: Tia, Ron, Udit, Kyra, Eddie, who each have some issue going on in their life, be it health issues, trust issues, self-identity, crisis. So each of them has a certain issue going on in their life. And they start off as unlikely strangers and they become friends. And then it's their journey of finding themselves, of becoming confident young adults through the power of relationships and how important friends are to us. And then my third novel, To My Homies, is kind of along the same lines, but I've dealt with more mature themes with it. And it's a story of love and self discovery about how we're all just trying to figure ourselves out. We're just trying to figure this world out and how and what roles relationships can play in it.
Okay, thank you. And so, out of those novels, do you have a favorite one, and what makes it your favorite?
Truth has is actually my personal favorite because I mean I've just grown as a person as I've written it, and it's given me a wider perspective. I now look at things differently. Uh I'm a better version of myself through just writing that novel, and that's why it's my favorite.
Okay, and then from any author in general, in any book, do you have a favorite book?
Um, Honestly, that just keeps changing from time to time. I mean, but Annette Blyton is my all-time favorites, and especially the Mallory Tower series is something that I really, really adore. And yeah.
Okay, and so was there one specific thing that made that you sorry, was there one specific thing that made you want to start writing, or have you just always had the passion for it?
I think it was the want for me to see just to see my name on a public piece of work and for me to be thought an author because I was so fascinated by the job. I was so fascinated by that world that I
Mhm.
just wanted to be that. And
Mm.
it was this passion or this dream and my love of reading that initially that taught me writing.
Okay, and so what do you hope to accomplish through your books?
So, what I try to do through my books is primarily to spread the message of hope and of the light at the end of the tunnel. So, I recognize about how everybody in this world is going through a struggle of their own, be it mental health issues or like career issues. We're all just trying to find a place in this world, and it can that tough at times, and I want my readers to just know that there is hope and that things are not really done and you don't have to give up, and there is so much more that this world has to offer, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what my novels through my novels I hope to preach, that don't give up and just there's a lot of hope and love in this world.
That's a really good message to give out, I think. Yeah, that's really nice. So I know that you write novels and you also have a blog, but do you prefer one over the other, or are they equal?
Well, they're honestly very different. So while I enjoy writing novels immensely, it is a lot of work and it takes about 9 to 10 months to actually formulate a novel, to plan it out, to write it. And it's a very slow process. And so it's often very time consuming and energy consuming as well. So, but blogs on the other hand are very quick and easy to write. So either you can churn out a lot more content in terms of blogs than you can in novels. So you can only like perhaps publish a novel once every 2 years or things like that. But a blog you can write daily or weekly. So blogs just allow me to share my perspective and writings to my readers daily. And I would like to say I prefer blogs, but then novels have a magic of their own.
Hmm, I understand that. I got that. So how do you handle your schoolwork in addition to working on your current novel?
Well, it honestly that's really tough. I'll not sugarcoat it for sure. And as I grow older, I'm currently in the 10th grade, and back in India we have our boards in the 10th grade. So there's a lot of academic pressure on us as well. And I sometimes do struggle with keeping up with academics and my other academic commitments and my writing. So it's almost like a constant juggle wherein I just go from side to side. So I just try to manage my time to the best of my abilities and to squeeze in as much writing time as I can. So that's why I use my vacations on weekdays to kind of just get a hand on writing. Or if sometimes in school, if I'm free or just a thought strikes me, so I just write it down in a diary and then delve on it later. So while I do struggle with it, I just try my best to keep up and keep pace with it.
Yeah, I get that. So actually, for me, like currently, I'm actually working on a novel of my own right now, but I haven't necessarily like updated it in about like 4 months. It's been a really long time also because I'm sort of at like a writer's block. Like I have the story in my head, but just like continuing it is like a long push. But I know for when I was in school before I got out for the summer, um, it was kind of like weird because it was like I wanted to keep working on it, but at the same time I didn't want to like neglect my schoolwork. So I definitely get what you're saying. But yeah. And then is there a specific achievement that you're most proud of when it comes to your writing?
Um, I'm actually fairly very proud of how Truth came to be. And yeah, it's just, to me, Truth is just a very beautiful piece of work that is so, so close to my heart. And I'm actually currently working on my fourth novel, which is the story of Indian high school teens and about friendship, love, and betrayal. And I'm really proud of how that's coming up so far. So I think my latest novel is my fourth novel is my proudest achievement so far.
Yeah, that's good. And then who are your biggest supporters when it comes to your writing?
Definitely my family. I probably would not have been a writer if it weren't for them. I mean, my mom is the one who's encouraged me and supported me and just loved me unconditionally through it all, even at times when I felt that I want to give up or that I can't do this anymore. She's the one who's kept me going and just been my pillar through it all. And my dad, and like I have a twin as well, so my dad and my sister have just been there for me throughout and just read my work, critiqued it, given their honest perspective, and just helped me grow as a writer. And my grandmother, I'm very close to her, so my grandmother was the one who initially is the reason for my love of stories. And so my just, if I'm a writer today, if I am an author today, whoever I am today, is just because of my family. And I wouldn't be where I am today, honestly, if it weren't for them. So they're definitely my biggest supporters.
That's really sweet. I'm glad that you have that like support system backing you to like help you through all that because it definitely makes it easier when you have a good support system. And then if you could give one message to listeners, what would it be?
What I'd like to say for them is to just believe in themselves, because there were times when I didn't believe in it. You just have to believe in yourself and your capabilities, because if you don't, nobody else will. You're only as you're only worth that much as you put yourself to, and it is you who have to put yourself up to a pedestal. There were times when I didn't believe in myself. There were times when I felt that my writing wasn't good enough or I wouldn't be able to do anything. But I kept going and I believed in myself, and my parents helped me believe in myself. And honestly, you just believe in yourself and your capabilities and just keep working hard, because hard work is like a boomerang, it always comes back to you. So just keep working hard and believe in yourself.
Yeah, I love that. And so the last question is, which I know I kind of sort of asked this before and something similar, but something that I'm asking to all my guests who come on this summer mini series is there one specific goal that you want to achieve through your writing?
I just want to, honestly, it sounds very far fetched, but I just want to be one of New York Times best-selling authors and to just, create an impact through my writing. I don't really care about how much copies I sell or how many readers I have. It's just about how many hearts I touch. And I just want to create an impact. And just by reading my work, just a piece of it is, if people are learning something new, if they're becoming a better version of themselves, if they're taking in hope, that's success to me. And that is something that I hope to achieve in the coming future.
That's really great. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining me. To all my listeners, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode because I definitely enjoyed having Risha come on and speak to us about her writing and her journey with that. So thank you again for joining me. Really appreciate it.